The very first exercise that I'm always going to talk about on my Start Building Me live videos and any other training videos basically is known as the body weight squat, or the squat for short. Guess what? You can already do the squat. If you are sitting down at the edge of your bed, sitting down on your chair, at the office, at school, or even to play video games at the end of the night, you're doing a variation of the squat exercise. The squat is a very important exercise known as a compound movement exercise. It basically requires coordination of a bunch of different muscles at the same time, which is really good bang for buck for an exercise. So the main muscles that you're really going to be using in a squat are your leg muscles and your butt and your lower back. We'll get into those muscles details in future videos, but I don't want to overcomplicate anything yet because it really is quite simple. You can do this by sitting down on a chair and standing back up. If you want to keep it like that in the most basic element, that's all you have to do, folks. You don't have to think about it anymore. If you want to know a more precise explanation of the technique, here it is. You roughly want to stand about shoulder width apart. Look straight ahead. Now, there's various ways that you can keep a counterbalance when you're going to do a squat by putting your arms out like so, or as I say, like a preacher. You can even fold your hands like this. You're sitting back into your heels. The weight is going to the outside of your feet. That's why your feet have arches in them. The weight is dispersed over your toes, the outside of your feet, and back into your heels, folks. What you don't want to do is have your knees looking like they're doing this whilst you're doing a squat, which is a common novice mistake. People who are beginners can do that with their knees. So basically think of a downhill skier or a weightlifter. When they're going to sit down into the back of the heels, the weight goes to the outside of their feet. Not like that, rolling in, which is common. Weight goes to the outside of your feet and down. So this is something that I'll be doing on every live training session, and I explain it like a broken record, right? I'm really trying to get out of the habit of that, and I can just refer you to this video where I'll try and do it a few times at different angles and explain it every time that I'm doing it. So again, explaining it for the rule and not the exception. Unfortunately, folks, that just has to be the way, but the vast majority of people will be able to do this in some shape or form. Now, form sticklers will often say you can't have a wide stance, also known as the sumo stance. I don't quite agree with that. I think if you're a taller person and you want to keep your back going straight, perpendicular at a right angle to the ground, then there's really nothing wrong with taking a wider stance like me. If I take a wider stance, I can keep my back going down straighter, as you just observed now. If I stand closer with a shoulder width knee, I can keep my spine neutral like that. But as you can see, the angle of my back comes forward, which if you're doing weights with a barbell, so barbell squats, then it's not really great form. So I find a wider stance works better for me, and I'm quite comfortable with that. I'll take the challenge on any other trainer who says that you can't do sumo stances. I think they exist for a reason, folks. So if you're having a problem keeping your back straight, maybe try with your feet a little bit wider. But the key is the weight to the outside of your feet, pressing your toes into the ground, sitting back into your heels, arms out of the counterbalance, or here in the preacher position. And then the last thing, which is the most important thing is for a novice, folks, is to never forget to breathe. So the breathing rhythm that I usually like is like so. People also, usually with barbells though, can have a breath at the top to keep themselves rigid and out on the way up. Basically, you'll find what works for you, and I really think there is no cookie cut solution, meaning that there are many different variations for different biomechanics different body types, for example. So we have to find out what works for you. Send me a message. I might be able to help you with some pointers if you're struggling with this. But in its most basic form, just think you're sitting down on a chair and you're standing back up. Sitting down on your bed, standing back up. Sitting down to play PlayStation, standing back up. Sitting down in your office chair, standing back up. Now, as I always explain in all my videos, the numbers in the beginning are arbitrary, folks. We are competing against ourselves and our performance yesterday. We're not competing against anybody else. So if all you can do is one of those today, pat yourself on the back, congratulations. You've done a squat and you probably didn't yesterday. So that's progress, right? Progress as well is one more squat the next day. You don't even have to do two. You're just trying to get into the rhythm of doing this daily. And you really don't want to put yourself off by pushing too hard in the beginning. You really want to make it something that you can get comfortable with over time, because as I said, consistency with exercise is what makes the master, is what makes professional athletes. You just have to stick with it. And you don't have to break your back doing it. You can do it very leisurely. Shake your legs out. Do another one. Shake your legs out. Maybe send somebody a text message. Do it again. Maybe do two in a row. It doesn't really matter, folks. You're just trying to get into the habit of doing a few of these through your day. The best thing is you're really working this posterior chain set of muscles in your back and your quadriceps. Of course, your core gets worked. And as I said, if you have your arms out, even your shoulders are getting a workout. It is a truly all body workout and is one of the most effective and efficient exercises done by anybody in any sport, professional or not. So this is a basic summary, the first iteration of the squat video. Let me know if there's any comments that you have, any queries that you have. I'm going to keep on working on it, folks. Going to keep on updating it. It's an iterative process here at startbuilding.me, just like software. So once we get some more information and feedback or different techniques that people might find that help them as a beginner, we'll update the videos for you. Have a good day.